Okay, we will wait just a couple minutes as people join before we start the actual meeting. We are waiting just a couple minutes to let everyone on.
That was a typo. I'll make those changes. It was a typo.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, how are y'all?
Hey, David.
Hey, David.
I just realized that I'm using my son's Zoom account.
We figured. We're waiting just a couple minutes until we make sure everyone's on before we call the meeting to order.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. All right, well, we will keep watching if people join. So right now we will call to order the regular Board of Supervisors meeting and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, just want to make note that Supervisor Beerley, Supervisor Stover, myself, as well as the Roadmaster and Secretary are here, and the solicitor is present via Zoom. So we will start with the public comments.
The email was received from the citizen Michelle Grove. On September 13, 2018, I filed a right to know request for surveillance footage. A lot of interesting things happened at that board meeting that night. If you haven't viewed the video on YouTube, I highly recommend it. The township tried to thwart my legal request for government records using various unethical and illegal maneuvers, including exploiting filing deadlines, falsely attesting to the OOR, lying to a judge, staging a public rebuke, making false defamatory statements on the record, such as that I berated the secretary in a phone call that never actually took place, and asking the court to sanction me $1,000 for seeking proof of their lies. Despite being repeatedly accused of not having the records anymore, the township stood firm in its position, and the accusations were nothing more than a, quote, conspiracy theory of mine. This elaborate scheme fell apart in a hearing on March 4th of this year. Jennifer Snyder was there, and she has been, quote, unavailable for any subsequent scheduled hearings. At the town hall in 2018, a resident said that if Carrie Miller is doing something wrong, I should tell all of you that so you can help me change it. The resident said if that were the case, she was sure everyone would be on my side. I have been making public statements about this for years. Where are you? You had plenty of time to attack my character after being incited by our government at the town hall. Think about that for a minute. Do you really want a government that town halls people? Do you really want a government that lies to judges in order to stop the taxpayers from knowing what they are doing? I don't know. Maybe you do. Chairperson Carrie Miller's word for 2020 is engage, yet she has remained completely silent on this issue since the March 4th hearing. Her silence has nothing to do with pending litigation. This was pending litigation during the town hall, and she had a lot to say about it then. What's different now? Carrie Miller needs to face the taxpayers of Gregg Township and tell them, quote, I did this. I used my government position to deprive a neighbor of her civil rights. I did this for years. I incited people. I lied to a judge. I lied to you. My actions cost you, the taxpayers, tens of thousands of dollars and could cost you a lot more in penalties. I abused your trust. I am unfit for public office. I resign. Again, this was a public comment from Michelle Grove.
Okay. If anyone else would like to make their public comment, if you just use the chat feature on your Zoom and make a comment, and I will do your microphone so that you can make your public comment. So we'll wait just another moment or two in case there is anyone else. Okay. Seeing no comments in the chat, we will move on then from public comment to the Secretary Treasurer's report. I will entertain a motion to approve the April 9th, 2020 Board of Supervisors meeting minutes.
I will make that motion.
Second here.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. I will entertain a motion to approve the April 22nd, 2020 Board of Supervisors special meeting minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. I will entertain a motion to accept and approve the all funds financial report.
I will make that motion.
I will second the motion. There are just some minor changes on that, but I'll make it on the condition that the minor changes are made.
Okay, so the motion to approve the all funds financial report with the corrections.
Yeah.
Any further discussion?
No.
Not here.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. Before we move on, I would like to make a statement. I've been asked why I don't make a statement regarding the rumors and defamatory statements made about me, so here is my statement. I was elected to do a job which involves serving the people of Gregg Township in a number of ways, with no personal gain to myself other than the benefit of living in a thriving community. That is what I've done and will continue to do truthfully, honestly, and always with the well-being and safety of the residents of Gregg Township first, for as long as I have the privilege of serving my community in this role and even after. So that is my statement. We will move on. Anything from the Roadmaster's report that is not on the agenda?
Not really, I mean, we've been patching potholes and have the grader out a little bit and trying to get things lined up for the work that we're gonna do this summer, so.
Just as a note on roads as well, in case people are unaware that Brush Mountain, I believe, is closed with a detour currently because they're replacing two bridges that are back to back on Brush Mountain. I'm not sure of what the timeline is. Did you hear what?
August.
It'll be closed until August?
Yes.
Okay, so there are detour routes in place for Brush Mountain while PennDOT
So
replaces
you
those.
cannot use it at all to cross between the valleys, or is it on?
You have to take Green Grove or what's the
Oh,
other?
let's see.
Green
So,
Grove.
so Brush Mountain is open from Green Grove to 192.
Well, open down below, but yeah.
It's on our, it's on,
It's on the 45 side of.
yeah, okay.
Penn's Cave to be.
Penn's Cave to Green Grove, yeah.
Yeah,
Detour.
Right.
yeah, okay.
And I believe that the Lower Georges Valley Bridge will be closed for a few hours,
The day, at the worst case scenario.
maybe a day. We're just not sure of what day that's going to be yet. We're waiting for Ryland to tell us when they're going to be. That's to do that last, seal coat?
Yeah, they're sealing it, but it's weather pending and of late. Well, the past couple of days now it's been nice, but I'm sure they're backed up on other stuff too, so. Has to be dry so they can seal that bridge and done with it. They said they'd set up all the signs to detour traffic around that all week. We just gotta let people know whenever we hear from them. Their new dates.
Okay.
Okay, anything else for the Roadmaster? On to unfinished business, underground storage tank. We are very close to being able to move that off of the agenda. We have been proposed a $4,000 settlement. So it's higher than what they offered and less than what we had asked for, but I think it's the best option we're going to get. So we need to make a motion to accept the $4,000 settlement.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. The writ of mandamus, Michelle Grove versus Greg Township and Carrie Miller. Any comments on that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Big topic, obviously, is the COVID-19 in regards to the township's preventative measures. We've moved from red to yellow. So we need to discuss what that means for this building, if anything, and how we're going to move forward with that.
I just want to say, I noticed from reading the Central Valley Times that the thrift shops in the area have opened. And I'm thinking perhaps the thrift shop here could be open. There's nothing to prevent that other than exactly how we would do that. Perhaps we would have just one door open on the center of the building. Or we could open both doors. I guess what I'm thinking is the building is no longer, should be locked down. That's kind of what I think. We can't have any gatherings because of the social distancing that we still want to maintain. But certainly the thrift shop could be open, and I think the insurance agency upstairs could also be open.
My concern with just unlocking the doors is that we don't have any way of regulating how many people are in the building or where they're going or what they're doing. There's no guard to count whether there's 25 people or less together using the facility. So that's my concern. You know, my thoughts are by appointment, or, you know, if the yoga or the insurance company or the thrift store want to let people in, they would have to wait at the door and let those people in. I just don't know how we would regulate it to leave the doors completely unlocked.
My only concern is we're gonna almost have to leave it up to each business or each resident, if you want to classify it as that. So they'll have to govern the amount of people that come in and out.
But what about?
With the doors unlocked or without?
No,
the
no,
door?
no.
With the doors locked.
Correct.
Because some of these rooms are a little bit more, there's
Correct.
not as much space in there, I should say. So to have people being able to be that far apart from each other, it might be a little bit harder.
Yeah, but so I would agree with that, that they would be responsible for
Right.
who's
Yeah.
coming and going with
Exactly.
the doors locked. They would have to allow those people in and out to their business.
It's gonna be, I understand it's gonna be difficult for a while, but I don't see anything other that we can do right now. Are we going to ask the tenants to pay their full rent now that
If they're operating,
they're operating? I would agree with that. No. Okay.
I just don't, we definitely shouldn't move towards renting out the gym for
No.
activities
no,
and
I
such,
agree.
and-
I agree. We should consider those options once it goes green. Well,
Right.
should I contact tenants and tell them then that the building would be open, say effective June 1st? And they may operate by appointment only, and they'd be responsible for letting people in and out of the doors?
yes.
Okay. Do we want to make, we'll do that.
And they
Yeah.
can't have any more than 25 people, correct?
Right. I don't know that anybody has, well, I guess the youth center,
The
and the
church,
church,
the
but-
church office could be
Right.
open.
yeah, they would have to let people in and
Yeah.
out, right? So I will entertain a motion that we approve allowing tenants use of the building with the understanding that they will need to let their clients in and out
And also be responsible.
and be responsible for maintaining the CDC guidelines for social distancing.
Yeah, I will make that motion. I'll second it here.
Any further discussion?
None.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. The other thing with that is our declaration. We had dated it for today since we had this meeting. I believe we should extend it to the June meeting date, so June 11th, because the state is still under the declaration. So we should extend ours as well. So I will entertain a motion to extend the,
Okay, so we're
disaster.
extending it, and that in no way interferes with people being able to open June 1.
correct. That's
Okay.
more for us to be able to get funding if we
Yeah,
need
yeah,
it. And
Yes, okay.
because we still don't really know what's going to happen between now and then. We could move to green by then, or
Okay, June 11 is our next supervisor meeting, is that right?
correct.
Okay, yeah, I'll make a motion to do that. I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
No. No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. Anything else you can think of, Pam, that we needed to address with the coronavirus?
Just the cleaning of the building, but I don't have time to do that.
We should look into,
I will get a hold.
we had talked about hiring a company to
Come in and clean.
do more of a sanitizing of the building before it was really
Okay,
open,
Now,
so.
Maddie and Martha have done some of that, haven't they? Wiped down the
Well,
wall?
they've gone around and wiped the doorknobs and off
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But the people that have, the tenants, the ones that have been coming in here and there, it's kind of hard to keep up with that. Not only that, you still want to make these people feel safe that we're going to clean the building prior to anybody coming in
Okay, so
here.
what specifically, what would you be cleaning?
Well, what they do is come in and
Spray.
Yeah, they spray.
They spray.
Yeah.
Remember, we talked about
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
Ehrlich's guy?
Yeah. yes. Okay, so it's a matter of spraying, it's not wiping down the walls in each room.
Right, it would
throughout
be
the building.
Spraying
They
the-
spray everything.
And so what are you thinking of spraying, the hallways
They do each room. They do each room per room,
per room?
per
Okay.
room.
And we want to do the rooms for the people who are going to open up on June 1st, I would guess, right?
We should do all of the building.
They can do it all at one time, or?
Yes.
Yeah, we would need to
That's-
call and,
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Find
call
this out.
Doug and get some more information.
okay. Okay,
anything else to discuss on COVID-19?
I don't think so.
Oh, I have seen kids playing on the playground. Is there anything we want to discuss on that? Because I don't want to tell them no or yes without
I
us.
think we ought to talk about maybe having that sanitized as well,
What's that?
the playground equipment.
Okay.
I've seen other playgrounds in the area blocked off.
Yeah, I
Question
mean,
when you talk to them.
Okay.
if you have it sanitized, I mean, it sounds to me like you must do that repeatedly then, if you have people coming and going, and we talked a few minutes about controlled access, we don't have that, you don't know how many people are there, so we're going to go back and spray this twice a week or 3 times a week or something, or, maybe, I don't know, maybe we should not open the playground.
Yeah, the thing with the playground is as soon as one kid touches it,
Yeah.
you would have to sanitize it
Yeah.
again, so. As far as I know, statewide, the playgrounds really aren't supposed to be
Yeah,
open
the
yet.
parks are okay, but not playground.
right.
So maybe we want to put some tape up around them. Do we have
Do-
anything?
Have any further
We could do
comments
that.
on
I
that?
mean, just, you're still not gonna keep everybody out.
Right, but at least at that point, there's some sort of indication that
Right.
they're really
Yeah.
not supposed to be there.
We may have flagging tape, I'm not sure. But, so, you can get some flagging tape and string it around the playground.
Yeah,
Okay, I could do that.
okay.
I'll come in tomorrow.
Anything else on that? The last thing on unfinished business is the census. Just a reminder to participate in the census because that is how they determine where all the funding goes.
Yeah,
So we want to encourage residents to participate in that.
I think about the letter from the woman who's secretary, Milheim, Emmel,
Denise?
Denise Emmel.
Mhm.
Emmel. And she was saying that people with PO box numbers don't get counted because they don't have a residence. And she suggested, to the best that I can remember the letter, she suggested that we make some effort to count the people who have PO boxes.
Well, she suggested is that she made up a letter
Yes,
and passed it to other townships along the way.
yes,
That they print this letter out and take it to the post office and have the postmaster put it in each one of the post office boxes.
okay.
That way,
okay.
everybody there would be aware of the census as well.
Well, I think that's a good idea. I mean, unless there's some reason why we shouldn't do it. I'm not sure what that would be.
I'm fine with that.
Why don't we do that? Could you print them up in your next trip over there?
Again, is there anything it's gonna do? Because it's a mailing, don't we have to pay for that?
Possibly. I mean, we don't have, it's really just the loop here in the village that are PO boxes, right?
Well,
Can I
yeah.
get a motion to be able to do that? Can I spend the money to
Well,
do that?
yeah, is there any further discussion about it? What do you think? Do you think we should do this? How many people do we miss by not doing it? Because I don't know.
Can't answer that question on menu. If you think it's gonna help, good.
Well, there are definitely people who live here who have a PO box, not a rural delivery address.
Go ahead and make a motion if,
Yeah, okay, I'll make the motion that we print up the letter notifying people who have post office boxes that they should be completing the census.
Okay,
I'll second that motion.
any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. Any other comments on the census?
Not here.
Okay. The next item is new business. The first item on there is the PCO lease. So we received an email from PCO this past week that they will not be renewing their lease at the end of the year. They also asked that if it was possible to let them out of their lease early, if we could fill their space, then they would be interested in that as well. So,
and hearing that, we received a letter from Darren Yarber. He's the director of the Penns Valley Youth Center. This is attention Ms. Carrie Miller, Chair, and attention Gregg Township Board of Supervisors. It has come to our attention that Pennsylvania Certified Organic, PCO, has decided to end their lease agreement in the coming months in order to pursue alternative office space, leaving the Gregg Township Municipal Building and the Old Gregg School Community and Recreation Center with a significant vacancy in leasable space. As a growing organization currently occupying spaces on the ground floor of the building, the Penns Valley Youth Center, PVYC, has for several years expressed occasional interest in the possibility of acquiring additional space throughout the building for expansion of programs, additional office space, etc. Given the news of this magnitude and the impact such an opening would have on this vital community center, PVYC would like to formally express its interest in potentially acquiring some or possibly all of the space that is to be abandoned by the departure of PCO. While we recognize that there may be other parties who may be interested in such space, that we ask that the Penns Valley Youth Center be given the opportunity to negotiate for as much additional space as deemed necessary for continued and forecasted growth of our programs. We hope that the Board of Supervisors will give this request strong consideration, as we believe that PVYC has become a vital asset to students and their families, not just in the vicinity of Spring Mills and the Old Gray School, but the greater Penns Valley community. We hope to have the opportunity to discuss potential expansion of our space in the Old Gray School Community and Recreation Center at your earliest convenience. We recognize that the great number of decisions will need to be made in the weeks and months ahead, and we hope to be a part of those conversations, as each of us values the contributions and this facility and their organizations therein contribute to a vital and thriving community. We appreciate your consideration of this matter and thank you for your time. Sincerely, Darren A. Narver.
I would like to see a proposal from the youth center and when they would want to start doing this, when they would want to start taking over the rooms. And I guess those are the basics. There are lots of other questions to be answered. I don't see any point in trying to answer them
Yeah.
until we see,
I think they've
see
set
what
up-
they want to do.
They've set up with PCO to view the rooms, because at this point, they're not even sure what the
Yeah.
setup of the rooms is, whether they're interested in all of them or some of them. So, yeah, I think it's more just an informational topic right now, and we can table that for further discussion at June's meeting. Hopefully by
Yeah.
then we might have some more information.
But-
Obviously, we don't want to wait until the end of the year. We want to have it all lined up several months in advance at least. So,
Do you think it would be unreasonable to ask for a proposal from them?
no, I expect that once they view the rooms,
Yes.
that they will
Yeah, okay.
have something. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
all right, and so, well, let's see, we're going to open up again June 1, so PCO can actually start renting again.
right.
I
I
would
mean,
expect people to pay full rent beginning June 1. That's
right.
what we're all
That's-
thinking, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what we discussed. Anything else on that topic?
Mm-mm.
Kitchen rental, Pam, I believe, if you want to discuss that.
Okay, I received a phone call from Terry Spar. She was looking to do more of a regular rental, three days a week. She would like to get started immediately. The business that she was piggybacking on has burnt down. So right now her business is sitting there. So she would like to be able to come in here. She came in to see the kitchen already from the side door. She's very interested. Be a lot of rental, income coming in there 3 days a week.
Yeah, that fits pretty much in the CDC guidelines for restaurants preparing food
Yeah, I
and
think
and
that's-
selling it as takeout.
She has her serve safe.
Yeah.
She's gonna contact the state to come in, and as soon as we give her the okay to come in and inspect the kitchen for her, so
Mhm.
she has her license and stuff.
Okay. I think that could happen as soon as possible, right? There's no,
I told her I would give her a call tomorrow,
yeah,
letting her know either way.
okay. All right.
Do we need a motion then?
Sure.
I'll make that motion and you go ahead and do that tomorrow, Pam. Second here.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous. And make sure she has her serve safe on file and stuff in the kitchen.
Right.
Anything else for that?
No.
Okay, we will move on to bid awards. I need that yellow pad back. Are you going to explain it? So first we'll talk about paving of the little strip over here on Water Street that is very much in need of repair. So Brandon got 3 quotes because it's under the bidding threshold for paving that strip. So we received from Schlegel, EB, and Jeff Tate. Schlegel's was just for the 19 millimeter 3 inches, and that was for $7,480. EB paving for just the 19 millimeter and 3 inch was $6,840. However, they also proposed a leveling course because of how out of level it is for $1,750 and the tack coat for $300. So that total would be $8,890 if we went with their whole proposal. Jeff Tate paving for just the 19 millimeter 3 inch is $9,400, and for the leveling course is $1,500 for a total of $10,900. So I believe after discussing it with Brandon that EV paving, well, EV paving is the cheapest if we do just the
Bare minimum.
the bare minimum.
Sounds to me like with what we're getting, I would make a motion that we go with them.
Are you interested in doing all of it?
I would say yes.
So that would be the 3 inches, the leveling course, and the tack coat for $8,890.
What's your thoughts, Brandon?
I'll be honest, I don't know that much about blacktop. Concrete dirt, yeah, blacktop, I don't know. So I mean, the thing is, potentially, I know we talked about doing something with that intersection over there, but obviously that's gonna be down the road, so to spend, I mean, not that, what, $1,700 isn't a lot of money or
Correct.
whatever, but if it's gonna make a better product, it's potentially gonna last longer, I'd still rather do that.
But your
If you're gonna do it right.
your leveling coat and your tack coat's gonna be a plus.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion, but I would make that motion to go with them.
So the motion is to go with EB paving for the 3 inch, 19 millimeter, the leveling course, and the tack coat for $8,890.
Okay. I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. We opened bids at noon today for the Gingrich Gap DSA placement project. We had received 3 bids. The lowest bid was John Clare for $85,361.25, which thankfully is about $30,000 less than we estimated it to be. So that worked out well in our favor.
So that is for Gingrich Gap. They're going to do DSA. Yeah.
With the paver,
What?
with the paver,
With a favor, yeah.
then we're gonna township over top.
So that's just to do the DSA, or does that include the township?
Just.
We already approved the
Okay,
tar and chip.
all right.
That was, I think,
Yeah, I called Pine Creek Township today. and
another
we're gonna
30,000.
Orchestrate that one, we're all 3. And
Okay. All right.
So I will entertain a motion to approve the low bid of John Clare Excavating for the Gingrich Gap DSA placement.
Yeah, I'll approve that then. I'll make the motion. I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimous. That is everything on the agenda. Is there anything else for the good of the order?
Nothing here. Should we go to the order? I suggest we adjourn. I make a
Okay.
motion, we adjourn. I'll second that.
Meeting is adjourned. The next meeting is June 11th at 6:30 PM. And I believe we will plan on having an in-person meeting. Unless
Okay,
something
June
changes in the
11th.
meantime.
In person.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us and have a good evening.